This is all Jay-Z's fault, bro.
Nah.
Nah, fucking
I ain't buying all that. I think it's
it's the Illuminati, bro.
too many women on the jury.
Yeah, that's what killed it. Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think Jay-Z had anything to do with putting the women on a jury.
Yo, I seen some crazy thing that I know it's probably not true, but anyway, but it's just funny to see that it could have been a Rock Nation employee as part of the jury.
How is that even possible? Look, the jury, there's like 100 people in the jury room.
Yeah.
100 people in the jury room, and they're gonna pick 16 people. So,
Hmm.
and I think people have been watching too many movies
Yeah.
on how jurors are selected.
DJ
Uh,
Academics was on Tory Lane's side the whole time. That's interesting comment because we gotta. Can we talk about what you talked to tell me the other day about that girl and DJ Academics?
well, did you? I sent you that link. Did you read that article where they were critical of certain bloggers in the courtroom that
No,
were
you never sent
advocating?
you never sent me that one.
I emailed it to you.
Let
It
me
was
put
it
it
was
up.
through email. What's crazy is somebody sent that to me as soon as I got off the phone with you, and I was
Wow.
like, "Wow!" I was just talking to AGTV about this, and her name is in the article. It's like a mainstream
Ooh.
article wrote it.
Read that.
NBC News, man. This was an interesting, very interesting article.
Making the Stallion isn't on trial. The man charged with shooting her in both feet, the Canadian rapper Tory Lanez, is. But if you consume content from some popular hip-hop bloggers, podcasters, and social media accounts, you might be misled. The outlets are part of a new wave of infotainment where content creators cover consequential events without the expectation of adhering to journalistic standards. Blogs and sites like No Jumper, Hollywood Unlocked, and others have drawn criticism for casting doubt on Pete's allegations. The podcasts, blogs, and social media accounts have covered a variety of topics, including theories that Pete wasn't actually shot. Alex Spiro, one of Pete's lawyers, said he and Pete are exploring all legal options regarding bloggers who have posted misinformation. Milagro Grams, a hip-hop news commentator, has been covering Pete and Peterson since before the trial started. She has been covering the trial from inside the courtroom and tweeting updates. Recommended gun in May. Grams posted an image of an LAPD report from Peterson's arrest stating that the first doctor to see Pete confirmed laceration due to stepping on glass. The information was recorded before bullet fragments were discovered in Pete's feet during surgery. The bloggers and podcasters like DJ Akademiks presented Grams' post alongside conspiracy theories that Pete.
Synopsis of this article.
It just basically said there's a lot of bloggers
Yeah.
and a lot of internet content creators that have been misleading or providing misinformation about the trial details. And they go to mention No Jumper. If you
Yeah.
scroll down,
I see
you
it.
see No Jumper, Hollywood Unlocked, and then let me see when they start talking about um if you let me see, I'm scrolling down to the oh, and then if you keep scrolling down, Milagro Grams, a hip hop news commentator, has been covering Pete and Peterson since before the trial started. She has been covering the trial from the inside the courtroom and tweeting updates. In May, she posted an image of an LAPD report from Peterson's arrest stating that the first doctor to see Pete confirmed lacerations due to stepping glass. That turned out to not to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the information was recorded before bullet fragments were discovered in Pete's feet during the surgery, but bloggers and podcasters like DJ Akademiks presented Graham's post alongside conspiracy theories that Pete wasn't shot. So it's
Right.
just basically saying that a lot of the um, amateur journalists have been feeding the public misinformation.
Right. Can we run a couple of things so that have been misled? The information that's put out there. One of the
You could ask me about them. I'm not sure if I know all the things that are misleading. Maybe you know better than me.
yeah, yeah.
I don't pay no mind to that
Right.
stuff. Yeah,
Uh, so one would be his DNA being found on the gun.
correct. If someone
Now,
says if they say his DNA is not on the gun, that's not true. If they say his DNA is on the gun, that's not true.
So what is true? It was found. What's the word that they used?
Inconclusive.
Inconclusive. Break that down. What that means?
It means it might be his DNA, but they don't have enough information to run the test off the gun to determine if it's him or not. And they can't exclude him. They can't include him. They can't exclude him. Now they excluded him off the magazine, but they haven't excluded him off the gun.
Hmm. Off the magazine, but off the magazine and not. Wait. Say that again.
He's excluded from the magazine.
But not the gun.
Correct.
Okay. Now, is it still even valid in court? Because you just said it doesn't. It's not. You just broke it down. Like, what? Why is it still this analysis still being used in trial? Is it still worth anything? Is my question.
I mean, they did bring it in court. It's just
Right. But why is it still used during the trial if they're not? It's not even certain, like 100%.
because they want to say that it might be his. The test didn't exclude him, so
That's
that was.
okay.
I mean, they ran the result of the test in court anyway. You can't run a DNA test and then not show it in court. Let's say they ran a DNA test and it excluded Tory Lanez, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be unfair that the prosecution hid the results of the test?
Right.
So regardless of what the results of the test are, they still got to show it.
Right. Exactly. And the other one was that I like to know, was he did he actually, did Tory Lanez actually bribe Megan or her friend Kelsey?
They called it attempted bribes. So
You cut off Alex. I can't hear you. Alex, your audio's off.
okay, wait. You know why? Because of this. Okay, how about that now?
Yeah, you're perfect.
Yeah. I think the language he used, because he offered her to invest, he offered to buy her to get her an attorney, he offered her some things that maybe you can define it as a bribe legally, and they never charged him. So that part's not. I mean, I don't know if it's irrelevant because they did mention it in their closing arguments that he tried to bribe them.
Wow. What's another one? Another one was that she wasn't really shot. It was glass, or I mean, I don't know where the glass would come from.
She was shot. There was bullet fragments in her foot. 100%.
100% she was shot then.
100% bullet fragments were in her foot.
Okay. Shot. Is it possibly she could have been? Bullets ricocheted or bullet, like, was she shot? What I'm saying, was she actually shot?
She was definitely shot, but even if a bullet ricochets and hits you, you're still shot.
Right. So it could have just been bullet fragments, or was it a whole bullet? I mean, I'm trying to just, for the people, I'm just trying to get a more detailed explanation.
Yeah, there were definitely fragments, and even the prosecution said to the jury in closing arguments, if you believe if it was a ricochet, that's still an assault. So count one doesn't make any distinction between being shot directly from a bullet or being shot from a ricochet. So they told the jury, even if you believe it was a ricochet, which means it could have been a ricochet, it's still assault with a firearm.
Right. Going back to the article, there was a blogger. I don't remember her name. I know she was part of I believe she was part of the Tory Lanez team. She was the one that goes live with DJ Akademiks.
Yes.
Yeah, she was very biased on her. I feel like she was very biased on whenever she would give her take on the on what would happen in court. But you tell me, what do you think about that?
Well, I think everyone kind of was on someone's side. You know, you was either kind of on Tory Lanez side or you was on Megan Thee Stallion side. And
Right.
that's just the reality of most of the people there. Now there's quite a few seasoned and professional journalists that once you talk to them, you don't know what side they're on. But everybody's on a side. Everyone's on a side. But the difference between some of the more seasoned journalists and some of these bloggers is that you don't know what side they're on. And some of these bloggers and online platforms are it's pretty obvious whose side they're on. And that was maybe some people consider that an issue. NBC News wrote a whole long article about these different platforms that were taking some of the misinformation from this trial and the pretrial and posting it on their platforms. This article on NBC News, in fact, let me give the title of the article so people can tap in with it. It says, the name of this article is How Tory Lanez Trial Bloggers Are Shaping the Conversation Around Megan the Stallion. And within this article, they mention Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked. They mention No Jumper. They mention Milagro Grams, and they mention DJ Akademiks as people that have posted misinformation about this trial.
Right. I think, yeah, that's what happens. I think when you try to get nothing but